my intention today is very simple. I am going to give you everything I know about YouTube ads from start to finish to help you guys immediately start making more money for your business if you're at a point where you can actually run ads profitably. And I'm going to go through everything step by step, but it's not going to be a, hey, like slide, me just teaching without any interaction. I'm going to ask questions, ask you if it makes sense, and go deep with you individually if you have something specific that you want to ask me as well. Sound good? This is very simple. What we do best, a quick background about me, I'll go in a second, but this is going to show you how to book 25 qualified sales calls each and every week using YouTube ads and our specific intent-based validation system. We've spent well over $100 million in ad spend in the last 5.5 years at this point. And I'm going to show you how to do exactly what we do for our clients every single day. So the first thing we're going to cover is why most people fail with YouTube ads and how to avoid wasting a bunch of ad spend, especially when you get started. The second thing is how to create unskippable YouTube ads that live longer, fatigue slower, and convert faster. The third thing is going to be how to use intent-based validation to target your most ideal customers first, especially when you launch, so you can actually prime your ad account for scale in the beginning and actually make profit as quickly as possible. And then lastly, how to optimize, broaden, and profitably scale so you can add an additional six-figure months. Most of the clients that we work with, high-ticket business owners selling $5,000 to $15,000 offers, just like every single one of you. Within 90 days, usually, if they follow the system and they do the work and they make the tweaks that they need to consistently with our help, they add easy an extra 100K a month to their business. Just another traffic source. But again, they have these pieces put in place, their offer, their messaging, the sales process, things like that. And so quick 1-minute intro about me. I'm not going to make this long. I got my start as a full-time media buyer for Dean Graziosi, right? One of the best info marketers of the last 20 plus years. He's been in the game on infomercial days, back when there was no Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Snapchat ads, TikTok ads. He was selling on TV. So I learned from a guy who could get someone to stop what they're doing, walking across the living room, a mom, busy stay-at-home mom, and listen to the television set and actually call a number to buy a book. That's a very powerful skill set. And I was able to learn from him for 3 years to learn what I know now and help clients like yourselves do exactly what he does, which is create ads that get people's attention and get them to click and buy. And so I was with him for about 3 years. I ran over about $7 million of ad spend for his brands and his companies. That's how I learned, working full-time for him. I had no clue about YouTube ads. I learned direct response marketing, copywriting, funnels, sales, all of that from him. And I'm using everything I've learned for now at our agency, adspend.com. So the next thing is, these are just a few of our clients that we've worked with. You probably recognize a few of those people. I've been blessed to be able to leverage the experience with Dean to get more amazing clients, like him and people that are very well known in the space. And primarily for the last few years, as you guys heard my story over the last 2 days, has been an agency model, right? So we become one of the best, if not the best, most sought after YouTube ads agency in the entire info marketing industry, specifically for coaches, course creators, and agency owners. That's what I love. I believe in that because coaches, courses, masterminds changed my life. I love selling it because I know it can help people. So that's why we focus in on that niche specifically. And Alex Becker, he's not a good friend, but a very good avid user of Hyros, and he just gave me a testimonial. That's pretty cool. We're one of the best agency partners of Hyros. We make a lot of money from Hyros and helping our clients get on Hyros. And then Sam Ovens, a few years ago, asked me to partner with him on WeTube. So that was pretty cool. I don't think he's partnered with anybody ever. And he partnered with me to teach YouTube ads to all of his clients, which was really sick. And I got to learn from him for about 6 months working on building that WeTube program, which was really invaluable. So now, question for you guys, okay? Before I ask this, how many of you are already running YouTube ads? Okay, 1, 2, 3.
I will be in about 2
4.
weeks. So.
Beautiful. How many of you have thought about running YouTube ads for your business? Okay, cool. All right, so which would you guys rather have, okay? Red pill, great creative and an average media buyer, or the blue pill, average creative and a great media buyer, and why? Don't be shy.
The creative always wins, right? That's what grabs your attention.
Creative always wins.
I think.
Creative, I think.
Creative.
I'm just red pill, so.
There we go. Anybody think the media buyer?
Yeah, I think the media buyer can change the game for you, yeah.
Okay. More than the creative.
Well, based on this being a red pill, the answer is most likely red pill, but I'm confused because they both, I don't know, but red pill is most likely the right answer.
Here's what I've learned. And this is a picture of me actually when I was working with Dean Graziosi, right? This meme is very real. Who's seen this meme?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's seen this meme. If you haven't seen this meme, what this is this is the virgin complicated media buyer. Okay, this is the guy who is trying anything and everything from a tactical media buying strategy side to make the campaigns profitable, right? He's, using a consistent naming convention scheme to keep everything organized. He's, doing different audiences, 1% to 2%. He's trying to target better than Google. He's trying to target better than Google, right? He needs to use a bunch of stuff to make the campaigns profitable. And what I've learned is that when I was working full-time for Dean Graziosi, I thought I was a god. Now, what I mean by that was everything I touched turned to gold. Whenever I would launch a new campaign, it would work. And quickly, my ego went through the roof because I realized that, I'm pretty sick. I'm making him a lot of money, the company's growing, and I'm starting to make more money myself. I had this belief that I'm the best media buyer on YouTube ads in the world, right? And then I got humbled very quickly when I started to get clients reaching out to me that were learning what I was doing for Dean and wanting to work with me on the side, and I was getting some clients and starting to build this list of clients and roster of agency. And when I would do the same things I was doing for Dean, it wouldn't work. The same strategies, the same audiences, the same tactics, the same targeting would flop. Maybe even the same offers sometimes. It just wouldn't work. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it was because I realized a lot of the people don't have the experience that Dean does, the wisdom, the knowledge, the business, the insights, the marketing. And it doesn't matter how good of a media buyer I was if the offer was shit, the creative was even worse, and the sales process was garbage. They couldn't close. And so that's why I made this funny meme, the Chad Man agency owner, because this guy was exactly what I was. This is actually who I was. I was just launching new campaigns, and I was doing all that stuff too, but the reason why it would work was because of the creative and how consistently we were testing new ads in the ads account to actually spend the millions of dollars that we did. Everything I touched turned to gold because the creative was so good. And with YouTube ads, as you're going to learn today, let me go far. The creative is the most important piece. And I wanted to share this with you. So when I was working for Dean, one of the most profitable campaigns that I'm sure some of you have seen at one point in the last few years was his Millionaire Success Habits book offer. Who's read that book, Millionaire Success Habits? No one read it? Okay. Has anyone seen the ads for that?
I've seen the ads.
Seen the ads for that? I was the one running the ads for that, and we've tested over 125 different YouTube ads for just that one offer. 125 different YouTube ads just for that one offer. Free plus shipping book offer, $7.95. Okay?
You mean creative, sorry.
Yeah, different ads, creatives. So who here has tested over 100 ads for their offer right now for their high ticket? You? Okay, beautiful. The reason I asked that and I want to make this point is because when I work with clients, when I go in their ad account and I look at their stuff, they're always saying, I can't get this profitable. And the first thing I do is look at their creatives, and they've tested 1, 2, maybe 3 ads. And I'm like, okay, well, this guy who's been in the game for 20 plus years selling on TV is testing 125 different ads, and we're consistently creating new angles and new hooks and new edits, and he's able to profitably spend on his offer. Why? Because of the new angles and the new hooks. He's constantly refreshing his ads. And so in this game now more than ever with YouTube, the media buying is all algorithmic, right? It's basically automated for you. The media buying is 20% of the battle, 80% is the creative. And so these are a few hooks that we tested, and I'll go more into these in a bit if you guys want. But these are all very creative. Like Dean was so good at this that we would convince him to do a cryo chamber ad. His hooks, I'm about to freeze myself at 285 degrees below zero. No kidding. Watch this. Then he gets in the cryo chamber and he pitches the book. And he actually has it here. He's not showing it, and then he brings it out to the camera. And meanwhile, I'm in the background dying laughing because I'm like, this guy's crazy. But that's why he's so good, because he's willing to do something that no one else is willing to do. And then, there's just so many ads that we did. This one's a follow along. Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. He's walking around the office, talking to them about millionaire habits and things like that. And there's just a lot of creatives that we did, but those 7 hooks are the ones that made us the millions of dollars out of the 125, right? So out of 125 ads, there was only about 7 that actually made us the millions of dollars, right? We collected about 2.5 million in terms of cash on that free plus shipping book offer. That's front end sales. That's not counting back in masterminds, workshops, events. That's just new customers buying that $7.95 book. Average AOV was $35. So every book sale is about $35. So you can do the math and see how many customers that is just for YouTube ads. Now here's why most people fail with YouTube ads. I already alluded to it, but it's very simple. 80% of your results depends on these two things: offer, packaging, and positioning, and creative. So the biggest thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to run ads if you don't have your messaging and your offer solidified. The I help statement that Will shared yesterday is exactly what you need to be crystal clear on first before you can even think about running ads. Because if you come to someone like me as an advertiser and you say, I want to run ads, and I ask you, who are you targeting? What's your offer? And you can't clearly articulate that, right? Like very, very quick. It's going to be hard for you to, or me to help you, because there's no way I'm going to be able to target that type of person when you don't even know who they are and what their pain points are and what's motivating them to want to buy. Does that make sense? Any questions on this so far? And the other thing is the unit economics, like Will was talking about, have to make sense. Right now, high ticket call funnels, VSLs, are the best way to sell high ticket because it's very simple. It's ad, you have a sales team, it's the simplest way to do it. Low ticket can work, but low ticket will break if you don't have a high ticket backend. And I'll show you why in a second. The second reason why most people fail is the creative. Most people blame it on the targeting or the agency, unfortunately, right? But typically it's never the case. You only want to run ads when you want to scale, okay? Not when you're trying to start a business. When you want to scale your already existing business that's working and improving. Does that make sense? And so here's an overview, right? So I'm going to show you three things. YouTube ads are great for mass market offers, B2C type offers, health and fitness, dating and relationships, make money online, and biz op. Okay, YouTube ads can also work for B2B if the total addressable market is big enough. Agency owners, coaches, course creators, and plenty of other niches too. But YouTube ads will not work well if you're trying to target, for example, car dealership owners in Germany specifically. Maybe there's only 22,000 of those, right? There's just no way it's going to work. You're better off cold calling or direct emailing them. Independent tax professionals, the market size is, pretty small. And then businesses making like 40 million plus a year looking to hire call center employees. Like, why would you run YouTube ads for that? Is this making sense? Yeah. YouTube ads is a scaling platform. You can reach a lot of people. It's the new TV. YouTube ads are the new TV commercials. But if you're trying to target, for example, you earlier, right? Like you were saying to me, like you've tried agency after agency after agency, they couldn't get targeting to work. One agency, okay. But I would tell you, I would turn you away ethically, of course, because I know I couldn't be able to target your audience with YouTube ads. There's just no way. The VX profession and the market there just wouldn't make sense with the offer you currently have for ads specifically. Now I'm saying you can get in front of them another way, but not with YouTube ads, in my personal opinion. Okay, so here's the difference between low ticket and high ticket, right? So low ticket, again, I've ran low ticket offers as low as $7.95 for a free plus shipping book offer, all the way up to $27 for a health and fitness offer for body weight workouts, right? And I've also sold $67 courses for dating, right? How to get more women, land more dates. And all of those were good courses that helped a very specific person. But the key to a low ticket, obviously, is having a high AOV of $50 or more. So with the free plus shipping book offer that I was telling you guys about, the $7.95, the only reason why that worked is because the AOV was about 35 to 40, like sometimes. But we are acquiring customers for about $20, $25 at scale, spending thousands of dollars a day.
So it was the book first?
Yep.
Then what?
So book first, then it was an upsell OTO to a membership, his inner circle. And that was a discounted fee of, typically it's a $37 a month, but it was a discounted fee on the page if they get in today. And then I think it was like maybe a $1 trial, and then it hits the recurring month and month and month after that.
I see.
And then after that OTO was OTO number 2, and that was his actual it was another sort of mindset accelerator course, like a $4.97.
Yeah.
And then after they say yes or no to that, they get sold that same course, but it's a discounted, like, okay, maybe not that price, but here, how about this price?
Yeah.
And then if they say no to that, then if they say yes to that, whichever one, they go to the thank you page. Yes. Thank you page has opt-in to webinar. So now he's going to a real estate profits from home webinar to actually teach them how to make money, because now they're getting the mindset from the book and the inner circle, the coaching, and now he's going to teach them how to make money.
Yeah.
So that's not including any of that, So now he's getting them to register for an evergreen webinar that teaches them a real estate opportunity, which was costing about $9.97 for the course.
Yeah, so good, man. So good. What were you spending per day, like at the height of that?
Man, I would. There was a point for that offer where I was waking up and I would check the Google Ads account on my phone, and I'd spent 40 grand yesterday.
Wow.
That was also when I had a lot of anxiety too, to be honest, because I wasn't new. I was new to that kind of spend. That was like stretching my limit at that point. Yeah.
Amazing, man.
Yeah, that lasted for about 3 months, about 20, 30 grand, 40 grand a day. It was pretty sick.
Hey Brian, at that scale, right, like some brands are spending that much money a day. How does that look internally with the like agency, the team, the business? What's the goal at that stage? Because that's pretty crazy. That's like a 10x. Max I've spent a day is like 4 or 5K, and that lasts a short time. So what's the mindset of that scale?
In terms of the business owner?
Yeah, him, the like media buyers, like what's the purpose? Like, just how does that look very fast? Yeah.
Like at a high level, what's the operation looking like? And
Yeah, at that scale, and why are they spending so much?
yeah, so during that time, I was given a free budget basically. As long as I hit my KPIs, I'm willing to spend whatever it takes. Like he's like, you can spend anything as long as it's hitting this average KPI in terms of cost per acquisition, and we're not losing this much money. So if I was getting anything less than a $30 book buyer, I can spend as much as I wanted. And the team was very simple. It was Dean, it was me as YouTube ads media buyer, it was Ryan O'Donnell as the Facebook ads media buyer, it was Tanner who was doing funnels and tech, and it was Jeremy who was the CRO, sort of COO type person. That was basically the team, the marketing team, right? And then you have customer service fulfilling on all the order requests, doing emails 9 to 5. And then you have the sales guys in Utah that were outsourced, calling all those leads, selling them the real estate workshops that are coming up and masterminds and those events. So at a high level, it was a very simple lean operation, but it was a very dialed in operation where we were each specialized on our specific things. And I was working with the Facebook media buyer every single day, and we're sharing strategies. When Facebook would be down, YouTube would be up, right? I'd lift the team up. But then when Facebook would take a hit, when YouTube would take a hit, Facebook would win. Then they would go in these quarterly seasons almost. So I don't know if that helps at all a little bit. And as far as the creative process, right, that's where he had an entire video editing and filming team in-house to help him create all the content, film all the masterminds, the events, those things. And he would be the one to be filming the ads. Even without our help, he would just be ripping ads. The thing that separated Dean from everybody else that I always encourage my clients to do is everywhere you go, and Jack actually does a really good job of this, whether he knows it or not, like he's creating ads every single day, it's just in a different way. He's doing it with his Instagram and with his YouTube videos, and those are ads. Those are literally ads. Now, if he applied that same sort of principle to ads with YouTube, they would work just as well. That's the mindset you have to be in, is like always be filming ads. Because Dean would film ads in the cryo chamber, he'd film ads when he's taking a morning walk. Whenever he was inspired, those were the best ads. Whenever we tried to give him a script and stuff, and for Dean, it just wouldn't really work. I'd have to give him bullet points, and that's what I do. Like some clients, they can read scripts and they need it. They need it word for word. Some clients, they just need to be told what the hook is, who it's for, and what are the 1, 2, or 3 things that we want them to say, and then they're like, I got it. And then they go. So that's a little bit of the insights of the operation. Yep.
What was Dean clipping per year on that offer? Like what was the revenue per year in that company?
Like in total?
Yeah.
Around 5 million. But that book offer was over 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
So like we made about 2.5 on the front end over 2 to 3 years. But I don't know the exact financials of the company, to be completely honest. I never really asked those questions. I should have.
Because I guess there's a lot of different things that get upsold along the way. And
Yeah, man, he was.
What do you reckon Dean's worth now?
Well, now it's even crazier. He's the CEO of Tony Robbins' company. So who knows how much he's making now. All I know is at the peak of it, what we did was $30 million in about a month. In 30 days from selling the mastermind.com launch. Does anyone remember that?
Yeah,
when Dean,
Tony did.
Yeah. That was the craziest time in the company, because we went from that small lean operation, about maybe 12 people, 100 people in basically overnight. He bought a new office, moved us all into a brand new office in Scottsdale, Arizona, and things got hectic. Like it was no longer the intimate team that it used to be. And that's ultimately why I left personally, but that was a huge, huge moment. That was the biggest internet launch in marketing history.
That was 30 million front end though, that wasn't back end.
That was 30 million front end.
Because I was going to say, I studied that and I thought it was doing like 10, 20 million on the front end, but on the back end, I reckon it would have done about 150 million.
That was like the Super Bowl of internet marketing for us. I was refreshing my Google Analytics, just seeing all the sales coming in. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it was nuts. And then high ticket, obviously, this is the formula, right? Like opt-in, VSL, application, calendar, thank you page, sales call. Will knows this like the back of his hand. That's how he scaled his company, how he helps you guys scale your companies, how we help our clients scale their offers as well. And if you need to talk to anybody about this, Will's the guy as well. So very simple here. YouTube's like college, right? I say now, YouTube's basically the new TV, and YouTube ads are the new TV commercials. But the way you want to approach YouTube is just like how you approach YouTube videos, right? People go to college to do what, right? To learn and to be entertained. So you have to create YouTube ads that are also educational and entertaining. And here's the perfect YouTube ad script. So now I'm going to give you guys the creative process, okay? This is going to be very important. This is going to be what you want to do when you want to film your first ads. The very most important piece is the hook. Like I said earlier, right? With Dean, I wouldn't give him a script. I would give him the hook. And so what I would do is I would say, look, this keyword in here, this keyword called law of attraction that's getting you the most sales for your book is resonating. The people are buying this, right? So I would use that keyword and I would say, I want you to say the law of attraction doesn't really work, right? Because it's working as a keyword inside the audiences. So if he now creates an ad with that data that's already proven, it's going to work even better. And sure enough, it drops the cost per acquisition, pretty much instantly when you launch into that same audience. Now, of course, you don't need to have data to do that, but here's how you do it, right? In the first 10 to 15 seconds, you want to make a crazy hook. Make a big promise or claim. Ask a question. Call out your ideal client or customer. Act out the problem or mistake that your clients or customers make. Or you can combine either and all of the above. And so one way to do this, for example, and I'll show you some case studies and actual examples in a second, I think that'd be helpful, is for us, specifically with our YouTube ads for our company, which we run for our YouTube ads offer, I realized that my first set of ads, I wasn't following this principle. And the reason why our cost per booked call, qualified call was so high, about $1,000, was because I wasn't being specific to coaches and course creators. I was just saying, YouTube ads is very general. But when I added the call out of coaches and course creators, immediately half cost per marketing qualified call, immediately. And some of you have to think about that when you're talking to your ideal audience. If you're doing a B2C, it's obviously a little bit different, right? That's more indirect. But if you're B2B, like you gotta talk to your very specific ideal avatar. Does this make sense? Any questions on this?
Something on this line, I've always thought with my YouTube videos and my shorts, the videos that I see organically perform well, do you think it would be smart to take the hooks and titles of those videos and just throw them in there?
Yeah.
Because I've spoken to Anna about I did this in my videos and the video did really well. Do you think I should just do that if I wanted to run ads and just say, hey, organically it did well, let me just put that into an ad?
100%. That's why when we work with clients like Mike or anybody else, one of the things I always tell them is don't reinvent the wheel. So you're 100% true, man. Like your video is working organically. People are already intently searching for that topic, that title, and it's converting. It's getting you calls. Now you just take that title and you say it as your hook in the ad, right? And you basically create another ad that's a mini version of that YouTube video. If you want to learn more, click the button. I'll show you exactly how this works. I put together a free 5-minute training, and then you put them to your VSL.
Have you ever tried running, so let's say you did a YouTube video and it organically got loads of views and calls. Have you ever tried just literally running that video as an ad, as a skippable in-stream?
Yeah, but it's not as profitable as the direct ads. Yeah, I've for example, we do that as a remarketing strategy. So with Charlie Morgan right now, who's going to be speaking later, he's a client of ours, and one of the things we do is we take his organic videos that are really growing right now, growing his channel, and we run those as remarketing ads to everybody who's already either opted in or hasn't opted in, to give him more value and send him back to his channel to either book a call through his description and then hit him again with a direct ad. So there's a whole, I'll show you that. I think I have the map of that and how that works. I can show you that. Yeah, I can show you that.
Brian, can I ask you,
Yep.
obviously I've got the video that's booked for all my calls for that coaching offer that I put out to the world. Do I just create a short ad, run it as a retargeting ad, and then point straight to that long form podcast? Is that one way of doing it?
Yeah, because you have a huge channel already.
Not really,
No?
about 30k subs.
Yeah, I would just do it. So this is what I told Mike as well. One of the things that I think is sometimes overlooked is like just the real rawness of a simple iPhone video ad that you can do direct to your audiences, your YouTube subscribers, and say, I've launched this new thing. Here's how it works. If you want to learn more, click this button. I have these people that are already going through it, getting results. I'd love to help you too and see if you're a good fit, right? Very direct, because they already know, like, and trust you.
So
They just need to learn more about they just need to know you have an offer.
So that's one ad straight to the retarget audience.
Yep.
But what about, is there another ad that, with an iPhone similar and say, look, I recorded this podcast, it's impacted, I've had loads of feedback about it, and send them to that podcast as well? Does that
On your
work?
channel already?
Yeah, because I know there's calls to action in that, to the coaching calls, to book a coaching call as well. And if they listen to that long form piece of content, they'd be even more bought in on coming to be a coaching client.
Yeah, you could. I would just set your expectations wisely there in terms of what you're looking for.
Right, okay.
Because what you're optimizing for is video views, not conversions.
Right, okay.
Does that make sense?
So just do the direct iPhone video and leave it.
If you want calls.
Yeah.
If you want to get more views on that video, that's fine. You can spend money to do that. But you just shouldn't expect calls profitably from that specific campaign.
Yeah.
They're going to come a different way.
Yeah.
And if you have high rows, you can track that. But just be okay with maybe not.
I think we're going to take the first option. Yeah.
That's what I always tell clients is like, you're going to have to sell anyway, so just sell first, add remarketing later.
Yeah.
And then lastly, so this is the second piece, right? So we have the hook as the first 0 to 15 seconds, then you have the story and the close, right? So this is the framework I learned from Dean Graziosi. This is the number one takeaway I had out of all my years of working with him, spending as much as I did working with him, okay? The framework of a great YouTube ads, hook, story, close, okay? What's the hook? What's the story you share or tell them? And then what's the close? What are you telling them to do next? Okay, so the story is very simple. Social proof and credibility, right? So my name is Brian Moncada. I'm the founder of adspend.com. I spent over $100 million on YouTube ads in the past 5.5 years working with brands like Dean Graziosi, Tony Robbins, Mastermind.com, Jeremy Miner, Charlie Morgan, Bedros Koulian, Patrick Bet-David. And the reason why I'm showing you this ad is because I know that you're probably a coach or course creator who's looking to scale with YouTube ads. These are the 3 mistakes you don't want to do. You see how that was a quick social proof credibility, right? And then I get right into the teaching now. I'm teaching them something. What's problem number 1? The biggest mistake is most people fail to actually have an offer that's scalable on YouTube. The way you create that is you have a specific problem for a specific person, solved the specific way. It has to be specific. That's a scalable offer. If you don't have a specific person that you're solving a problem for, a specific way, you have no business trying to run ads because you don't even know who you're targeting, who you're talking to, what their problems are, and what your way you can help them is. So if I'm someone watching that ad, would you guys agree that that's probably helpful for someone who's thinking about maybe running ads and they're like, well, yeah, I don't really know who I'm targeting. So I'm helping them on the ad. Does that make sense? And then the next thing is problem number 2. The second biggest reason why most people fail with YouTube ads, and maybe you would too if you didn't see this ad, is your creative sucks. And think of your creative as how the hook and the story that you're telling them is actually resonating with the marketplace. They don't follow a very specific script template. They just kind of wing it. Or they do 1, 2, maybe 3 ads and they say YouTube ads don't work. Well, after spending as much as I have on YouTube, I can tell you the biggest players in the space, they test more than 1, 2, or 3 ads. In fact, they test hundreds before they actually say YouTube ads don't work. And I'll show you a few examples of that, and then I'll go to the next point. Problem number 3 is they start with the wrong type of targeting. On YouTube, there's 2 types of targeting. There's intent-based, there's interest-based. Most people start with the interest-based, these broad audiences that might be interested in what they're offering. Whereas what we do is we start with the intent-based, people already searching for keywords, comments, questions, concerns about your specific offer, their specific pain points, raising their hand saying, I have a problem and I'm looking for a solution. We go with that type of targeting first to get your ads in front of the right person at the right time for the right price. So already I'm helping you in the ad, building trust, credibility, and then I go to the call to action. By the way, if you want more help with this and you want me to show you the process, walk you through it step by step, click the link. I'm going to take you to a free case study video, 5 minutes long. It's going to show you exactly how our process works, everybody we've worked with, and how we can possibly help you too. It's free. The training truly is free. You guys know this, you're marketers, right? There is an opt-in. I want to collect your name. I want to collect your phone number so I can send you more emails that are valuable just like this ad and make more offers to you. You don't have to buy them. It's just me being transparent. And then If you don't do this, what's going to happen? You're going to continue relying on word of mouth, referrals, maybe Facebook ads, riding the Facebook ads roller coaster, maybe getting the email of death from Facebook. You wake up one night and then all of a sudden your Facebook ad account's banned. Where's your money coming from now? You got to be diversified, add a second channel. That's one of the best ads that we've done, by the way. And yeah, then urgency, scarcity, more CTA number 2. Does that make sense? Is that helpful?
Yep. What's an example of acting out the problem?
Yeah, I'll show you. So how to film your ads. Let me show you after this slide. It's literally coming up right now. So filming the ads is very simple, okay? So what we have our clients do is there's 3 ways to film the ads. If you're already good at filming, you know how to film. I don't have to tell you. You can do high quality. You can do as simple as an iPhone. Like I was telling you earlier, right? With yours, you can do a simple iPhone video, very direct, and your audience would probably resonate with that. Because it's something unique, something different. You're talking right to them.
Yeah.
It feels like that, right? And so that would work. You can also do direct-to-camera, high-quality edits if you want as well. That can work too. But as simple as it can be, you just need natural lighting, external microphone, a teleprompter if you need to read a script. I use Prompter by Elgato. It's one of the best things you could ever buy for your business. It shows you the script, and you're looking into the camera. It doesn't look like you're reading a script at all. And it actually doubles as a Zoom screen too if you're on a call with a client or a team. Or your team, you can actually look at the camera and it's showing you the screen right there. Pretty sick. Long story short, you want to film the hooks first. So we always start with 5 hooks. Every script that we write for clients has 5 hooks, right? 5 hooks and then 1 body, which is the story and the close. That creates 5 different YouTube ads. You always want to start with at least 5 ads per Google Ads best practice. That's not from me because I'm just making it up. It's because I've learned that 5 ads work best when you first launch a campaign, and Google actually recommends that too.
But you're saying, Brian, so 5 intros or 5 hooks?
5 hooks.
And 1 body?
Yep.
Okay, and then for the outros or the CTA, how many, again, like 1?
Just the 1 body.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, you can do more bodies if you want, 10 hooks, 2 bodies, then obviously it compounds from there.
Got you, cool. Cheers.
How to edit your YouTube ads. You want to add these as needed. Again, in this marketplace that we're in, I personally believe what I've seen is everyone's sort of done with the hype. And again, it depends on where your market is and who they are. If you're selling B2C, you know, they're used to the TikTok sort of edits. They need the hype, they need the flash, they need the quick dopamine, right? But for B2B, and you can see this from, again, someone like Charlie, someone like Will, for example, they're just being real, raw, genuine, authentic, no edits, straight to camera, no thumbnail, and it works. It works because why? Because it's different than what they're used to seeing. So when you're doing something different than everybody else is doing, it's going to stand out. It's going to get attention. What I've noticed, especially in this marketplace, is the more real, raw, and genuine you are, right, the better it is served to the marketplace that you're actually running ads to. So keep this with a grain of salt is what I'm saying. Typically, though, what we do for our clients is we add captions. Right? I learned this from Hormozy, actually, and Hormozy is the one that actually explained it best. I knew captions work, but I didn't know why. But who knows why captions worked if you've read the book, $100 Million Offers?
I haven't read it, but it's because people don't have sound on social media.
Yeah, that, and when they read and hear something at the same time, they pay attention more. They actually input the information, and it actually, exactly. So it's not just hearing it, but it's reading it and hearing it that gets you to pay attention, and it actually, I think it calls it, like he says, you learn it faster, essentially, which makes them, just to me, it just makes sense of why captions in that case.
Well, I think it seemed that you mentioned that when you read a book and you read it with the
With Audible, yes. Yeah. So when I heard that, when I was reading the book and I bought Audible at that point, I was like, that's why captions work.
Yeah.
That's why you got to have captions on your ads. B-roll, obviously, as needed. Be tasteful with that. Motion graphics, sound effects, not too much of that. You know, I always tell Mike as well to tell our team with sometimes it's too much, but then we now obviously are adjusting for the day and age. And then you want to create a thumbnail for your ads. YouTube ads are responsive now, meaning that they're going to show up on suggested videos like a regular YouTube video. So if you don't have a thumbnail, it's going to create an automatic thumbnail for you, which you could like, but personally we create thumbnails that look like YouTube videos, so they actually look like YouTube videos, but they're ads. So you want to have a specific thumbnail for your ads too. Okay, so I think the next one actually is the one that I want to show you real quick, Tim. But let me just, yeah. Okay, I'll get to that one, the acting it out.
Let's see this one.
Okay, who's seen this ad? Has anyone seen this ad? No? Damn, okay. Well, this YouTube ad made our client, Brandon Carter, $636,000 in 90 days. So what Brandon, who knows who Brandon Carter is? Okay, King Keto. He helps personal trainers take their business online, get out of the gym, transition into online fitness coaching. And we spent about $201,000 on this. Total revenue was $646,000. Total ROAS was 3.21. Total profit $369,000. Again, in 90 days. Thumbnail obviously helped us. I think you guys can imagine why. And here's what it looked like. I don't know if the sound works, but I'm going to put it on full speaker to show you. Okay.
Hey, stop training people in person to make money as a personal trainer. It's trash, garbage, sucks. Do online training instead. It's the fastest way to make over $100,000 a year from your own home, on a laptop or a phone, and you never have to worry about your clients wasting your time by not showing up in the gym. Here's how it works. First of all,
Okay, 26 seconds in. What did you guys notice about that so far?
Straight to the point, no bullshit. Call out the ideal person, address the problem. It's just, that was a great hook, man.
Anybody else?
He was already giving the pain very early,
Yep.
like not showing up.
And the rewards as well.
Yeah.
Make 100.
Yeah. And the hook, right? Hey, stop training people in person to make money as a personal trainer. Call out problem that they're actually doing right now. They know they're doing it. They want to be online, right? And then it's the fastest way to make their goal, the desire, right? And then he transitions into, my name is Brandon Carter.
My name is Brandon Carter, and I've been a personal trainer for over 21 years. And I've created something called the Online Fitness Framework that I've used to help over 10,000 people start successful online fitness business, even when some of them have never trained people before in their life. Now, the Online Fitness Framework.
Credibility, social proof and credibility, right? Helped 10,000 people, been doing it for almost 10 years.
He also sold the clip because he put the bundle on the thumbnail.
Sold it.
That's how he sold the clip, though.
Yeah, well, that was our editing team.
Yeah.
That was a good
I
thumbnail.
see Jack do that all the time on his YouTube videos.
Upsells.
Upsells.
Yeah.
So that's an example of the hook and then going into the social proof and credibility. I won't play the whole thing. I can send it to you guys if you want. I'll give you all these slides, by the way. So
I noticed when he was referring to other personal trainers, he didn't have pictures or images of people who would be personal trainers.
in the hook?
Early on, when he was talking about personal trainers, that doesn't look like a personal trainer.
You don't think so?
No.
It's,
Or even the person before, just looking like any random person.
I think the reason that they've put that picture there is because it looks like an everyday person chilling at home. And that's a lot of the market. You want to be chilling at home. Because it looks like you're kind of not working, it looks easy, it looks like anyone can do it.
Yeah, look at the text too. Even when some people had never trained people before in their life.
You got to understand that this is not to actually get people to train people at home. Like 10% of people that see this ad and take his training will become personal trainers.
Yeah.
The other 90% will open the course for like 3 weeks and give up, but you still got cash. That's right though, guys.
That's right.
If we're honest, that's internet marketing, isn't it?
Yeah, 10%'s a bit optimistic as well.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Fuck off, Frankie, you're giving it a bad name.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, because Tim's actually thinking about, how's this a proper business? But that's the game we're in.
No. So I do know how.
No, it's because he's a creative and he wants to make sure the creative is dialed in.
It's just like if I was thinking about, so if I was a personal trainer and I was to take this offer, I'd look and I go, well, that person doesn't look like a personal trainer, so like it doesn't relate to me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if it was like someone who looked like one, I go, oh, okay, well, this seems actually. But then again, numbers don't lie. So.
And most personal trainers aren't in shape anyway.
Yeah.
Most of them. And most people that watch us probably aren't personal trainers yet, anyway.
Yeah, I actually saw this. I was like, that's the perfect B-roll. I was wondering who put that there, because in my faceless channels, I have to put a lot of these B-rolls.
Yeah.
I was like, it's really perfect.
Yeah. And as well, we're looking at it, we're not their ideal client. So their ideal client is someone who wants to make money online, but has no experience in making money online.
Maybe they're interested in fitness.
The modality, the mechanism they're using is personal training.
Yeah.
It's like, the mechanism might be a relationship coach and another one, but that's not actually the whole thing. We're just trying to capture someone who wants to earn money online.
Yeah, I think Musa, I think you'd be very good at making ads because you're good at the visual, the story writing, that kind of shit.
Yeah, I was also going to add, like, the framework that Brian just explained is literally what I do in my YouTube videos. So sometimes it's like you'll learn, okay, hook, you've not heard hook before. 10 years ago, I didn't know what a hook was when you're making videos. But if you practice that and you do it in your long form, it's the exact same thing. Tim was saying yesterday, he's like, hey, Mike, you figured out which exact videos to use in the beginning. We use it all the time. When we don't, we see it plummet, right? And
yeah.
in the beginning, so you can use the same format with long form and organic as the paid as well. That's what I was asking Brian. Hey, should I just make a shorter version out of like my organic videos? So it's useful to use if you're going to go paid or not.
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
Do you think that long form content creators like podcasters, do you think they actively study and are just creating long form sales letters in the way that they think, so that we think they're delivering value to us by listening to the content, but it is a long form sales letter as well, but in audio form?
Do I personally believe they're doing that intentionally?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, I don't think they realize it at the time potentially.
Yeah.
But when I look at it as an advertiser, as an ad man, I'm like, yeah, that's an ad. It's just a long form ad.
And do you believe then, Brian, that the difference between like the top 0.5% of podcasters and the top 0.1% of the 0.1% know that?
Yeah.
See, I only just realised that fucking today.
Yeah, I've never done it on purpose. I've done it by accident a few times. Now I'm trying to figure out in my strategy, how do I do this on purpose? How do I subtly sell in long format videos? Because I've found there's a big correlation between when you instantly grab in long form compared to when you subtly sell. So you drop a hint, or you plant the seed, and you let them make the decision, rather than directly saying, "Come and join my thing. Come do the link in the description."
I always do that in my YouTube videos. I subtly sell 2 or 3 times in pretty much every one.
Yeah.
That's where I started to notice it in yours.
Yeah.
I was like, this is just genius. Like,
I want it and I've already got it.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy it again.
But the people end up buying also, you can also just be intentional about it. So I'll talk about a video on diet, and I'll be like, so for you guys, if you're here, you're serious, and you've watched a video like this before and still didn't get your result, it means that you need help. So people who buy the coaching understand they need the implementation, so sometimes it's fine to just be direct. I know people will trust you more versus if you're trying to be subtle. But I mean, you can test both as well. But I found that if I just tell people directly, like, hey, you're still struggling, if you've tried for years, you've watched many videos like this, then this is what you need. Because I build trust throughout the whole video already, and then we move on. So they're not hurt or anything that you're advertising. Some of them like it because they're like, okay, this guy's sticking to what he's saying, and he's also being honest about what his intention is. I think Charlie does this really well.
Does it really well. Yeah, every video he says is very direct of like, there's a VSL below, you can watch it, it's gonna sell you something, you don't have to buy it, but it's there if you want. Like, he's just very direct. So, yeah, transparency. Now the next one, to Tim, your question, right? So, by the way, that Brandon Carter ad lasted, it's still running to this day. It was produced well over a year ago. So with YouTube ads, the compound effect is real, because just like a YouTube video, there's only more people every single day searching for how to become an online fitness trainer. So just like a YouTube video compounds over time, the more people that start searching for how to become an online personal fitness trainer, the more time that ad's gonna last in terms of the length and duration before it ever fatigues, unlike something on Facebook.
So that ad, how long do you think it's got until it fatigues?
Well, this was the longest one. That's probably the easiest case study I can share, and it could probably last as long as this one. So this one's 2 years, 5 months, and 27 days. This is a bodyweight workout course. And this is the one of the hook of teaching them what they're doing wrong by showing them what they're doing wrong. So I'm going to play it and we're going to review it as well.
Hey, stop doing this exercise. This one popular exercise has been banned by the military, yet 7 out of 10 people still use this in their workouts today. And it's unknowingly recommended by trainers and doctors all over the world. Even Tony Horton, celebrity trainer and creator of P90X, has recently removed this exercise from his workouts and his training. And due to new research, a professor of spine biomechanics from Waterloo University says this one exercise can damage your spine. So if you're experiencing pains in your back or joints right now, you may already be falling victim to the seemingly harmless exercise. To find out which exercise...
That's brilliant.
What did you guys notice?
Who the fuck is buying this shit? I know. Seriously, it shows you how retarded 99% of the world are. It is crazy.
I can't believe that's got a 5% CTR, man.
Yeah.
It's just mind blowing.
Did you make that?
That was a collaboration between, it was more of a done with you style. We didn't produce that step by step, no. But they're, who knows who the Tap Brothers are? The Tap they're the Tap Brothers. They're popular workout twins. They have 1 million something subscribers on YouTube. Body weight, sort of like, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like what's that? Like the training on like the bars? What is that called?
Calisthenics.
Calisthenics, exactly. Yeah, you said it. Yeah. So that's what they do. And so, again, timing-wise, this one worked really well because they took advantage of their bodyweight workout offer during a time when COVID was real, right? So they printed with this. They were able to spend $100,000 a month on this offer right here.
And was that 195,000 a month they were making revenue?
They were doing about a 2.5x on the front end with just that course. The problem with them is, not the problem for us as the agency was we were trying to convince them of doing a back end because we knew it was only a matter of time before the front end unit economics wouldn't make sense anymore in terms of cash. And so they didn't want to launch a high ticket thing on the back end, do any sort of anything. So it was tough to work after, they just wanted to print this one out, is basically.
That thumbnail at the start, which is very similar to the frame that you paused it on.
Yeah.
Was that the thumbnail that got a 5% CTR?
Yeah, so that was before YouTube ads were responsive, right. Meaning that you didn't really need a thumbnail because they weren't going to show up on suggested videos or third-party websites, whereas now they're mandatory, they have to, right?
Yeah.
You can't choose if you can just do in-stream. This was just an in-stream ad, so we didn't need a thumbnail at the time.
William, what do you get click-through rates on your organic YouTube videos?
On the really good ones that go not viral but massive, about 9%. And on an average video, day 1's 7 and drops to about 6.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But do you really pay attention to your click-through rate?
Oh,
on
yeah.
YouTube? And you as well, Jeff?
Yeah. Because if you think about it, if I get a 5% click-through rate, I do 10,000 views. If I manage to double the click-through rate on that launch, I'll be doing 20,000 views.
But you pay attention to that single metric?
Absolutely. I'll switch thumbnails 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, what I do, I use this app called Thumbnail something or other. And basically when I launch a video, I launch it with 4 thumbnails and it rotates them every hour.
Oh, that's cool.
For 2 days.
What app's that?
And then it shows me the highest CTR one and then I set the highest CTR
for the future of the video.
For the future of the video.
What was that called, William?
It's called, is it thumbnailgenerator.app, I think, maybe? I can find it on my computer later. I think it's, I'm sure it's thumbnail generator.
And that just plugs in to generate off the video, so it just takes stills from that video, yeah?
No. So you upload as many thumbnails as you want.
Right.
So you make them, you put them in, right? So you could put 2 thumbnails, 4, 6, 8, and then you can set the time of the test. So I usually do 48 hours, and with 3 or 4 thumbnails. And then when it uploads, it'll have one. Next hour, it'll have another, back to the start. Thumb, and it does that for like 1, 2, or 3 or 4 days. And it logs all the live data.
Nice.
And then you can see what the best thumb is. And you can do it on the title as well.
Oh,
so
nice.
What I usually do, if I get a shit video, quite often recently actually,
that happens.
then I will go and start testing the title. And I did it on one of my last ones, right? And I tested the title for 48 hours. and it took the CTR up from like 5.2 to 6.9.
Wow.
I was like, oh shit, let's go, and you started seeing the views instantly go up.
So that same concept, Iman taught me about last year. He said, Jack, if you want to grow your channel, what you need to do is employ somebody to go through your whole catalogue of old videos, and every day you need to change one thumbnail, one title on all your old videos, and it repumps them in the algorithm. That's why Iman consistently grows with only one video a week, because he's recreating everything of his entire back catalogue to repump in the algorithm all the time.
And Iman also looks at his winners and recreates them as well. That's what he does.
Yeah, you recreate your winners. I've recreated the video, how to completely change your life in 1 year, 3 times. Every time it's done over 100K.
Wow.
Yeah. I heard that, I can't remember who told me this, but someone said when you change the title of a YouTube video, it puts it back in the algorithm.
It does, yeah.
What did they say?
It puts it back into a learning phase and allows YouTube to retest it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
So if you think you've got 400 videos in your back catalogue that are just not being pumped in the algorithm anymore, and then you decide to just put out one a day, it's like you're getting an extra video a day being tested. Your views go up.
Do you do that currently?
We're just about to hire a guy to do the thumbnails. We did it before, it worked, but the problem was he was making the thumbnails shitter. Like he was ruining the videos, in my opinion, and he was ruining the aesthetic of the channel. Even though we were pumping on views, the look of the channel, that this guy, he just wasn't in the same headspace, so I had to stop him. But we'll now be doing that testing 1 per day of an old video with a new title and a new thumbnail. And we'll do that every single day on top of our 3 new uploads a week.
What volume of videos do you think that becomes a relevant strategy to do? Because I've not got that many videos. I've got maybe like 50.
How often do you upload?
Twice a week.
I would do it once a day, change your thumbnail and title on your old videos for the next 50 days.
Okay.
And just test it.
Yeah.
But do you pay attention to your, do you pay attention to your impressions as well or not?
Yes.
Impressions, because that's important, right?
Yeah. How many people are being shown to and how many people are clicking on the video. When we get good click-through rates, it's like 12%.
This would be a good ad for you to model.
And then bad,
With your
obviously
offer.
anything under 10.
Because you're going to do low ticket, right? You're going to do low ticket? Yeah, this is a low ticket offer.
Yeah.
Tap Brothers.
So that's why I bring the girls in to my videos, because anything with a girl who does over 10%.
BR space
Brothers.
The one thing I want to ask you is
Hermanos.
how you found the aesthetic of the
Yeah.
channel. How did you brainstorm the aesthetic of the channel, and then did you create a brand guide around the aesthetic, and then give them a brand guide, or how are you getting people to follow that?
Because up until now, I've done everything myself. I've edited every video, I've shot every video, I've done every thumbnail, I've done every title, all on my own with 0 team. So the whole thing was my aesthetic.
Right.
It's just it's the same way I build my Instagram. I only post stuff that I like the look of. And one of the things I say to my guys is, if you're putting out reels, videos, any content at all that you look at and you think that's not cool, I don't like that, I'm putting it out because I have to, it shouldn't be going out. So I design the aesthetic of my channel, so when I look through it, I want to watch my own videos.
Yeah.
And that's my brand guide.
Yeah. That's smart.
You've kind of got to, when I was building the trading company, and especially the ads and the copy, I always thought, like, what would have sold me back when I was losing money? What would I have clicked? What would I have wanted? And I always made it in that way, and it always worked really, really well, man. So it sounds like you're similar, where you're thinking, what would I like? What would I click? What would I be drawn to?
Exactly.
And then you just make it for your own self.
Yes.
I think that's a powerful hack, man.
Yeah.
So I'm in 2 minds, right? Because with this offer that I'm trying to run, I'd be better off setting up a separate YouTube channel then and doing direct to camera stuff, and then retargeting against my podcast audience, right?
Mike, you and I were talking about this yesterday. You want to share with
Yeah, so yesterday me and Brian were talking about, I have 3 channels, right? I forgot about the one, but I created a second channel that I'm not really pushing to anyone. But I'm doing just a sit down talk, whatever I want, like anything. And very Hamza style in the sense of I can click record and you speak, and that should be personal brand. And at some point, it will grow. You'll get one video. It'll take a while, right? You're not going to have a viral video in the first 10 videos. But the thing me and Ryan are talking about is that you should just genuinely enjoy it and not really care about the views in the beginning. And at some point, there will be one video that speaks to people. Obviously, just use your marketing mind with okay, if someone done something similar and then maybe just optimized a little bit for thumbnail and title, or more so title, right? So I've created the second channel. I'm gonna upload like these videos that we've been recording this weekend will go on there. And I'll maybe title this one, Brian Moncada, how he, whatever, right? So I'm optimizing for his name. But the video will be very raw, like unedited. So I'll do that on that separate channel. At some point it will hit.
Yeah.
At some point it will hit. And it's much easier because then, say you do it on your podcast channel, you're thinking, is this the right thing? Is this the wrong thing?
Mm-hmm.
You create a lot of friction in your mind process.
Yeah.
Creating a separate one, I think, is easier, but you don't want to get in that habit of creating new channels for new things. So just make sure that's what you want for the next 2 years, and then just upload on that.
Yeah.
Tell you what, Frankie, there's one of the topics I've seen really popping off on YouTube right now is the frequency stuff that both of us are into, high vibrational frequencies, the spiritual stuff, same as Trans7 reality. I did a 15-minute video on that. PowerPoint, one of my usual PowerPoints with the Loom video, did 300,000 views. And it took me 15 minutes to film.
I'm writing a video like that.
Yeah.
Right now.
People have seen all the front end. They've seen all the hacks and the tips and the tricks and the discipline. They want to know what's underneath. They want to go deeper and they want to go spiritual. They don't know why when they improve their life things don't feel quite right. And that's where you hit them with that deeper stuff, and that's really resonating with people right now because nobody's been talking about it.
Yeah.
So on that point, what's really cool now is if you have a provocative thought, like that you think is really deep and you're like, I don't see this anywhere, it's very likely that there's a tribe out there of people who feel the same way, right? So let's say in the beginning it just gets 100 views. Those are 100 views of the people who really fuck with you versus 1,000 views of people who are just there for like some clickbaity bullshit. Do that enough times and you'll have a channel like Sam Sulek, right? Like it will find its audience, and like the algorithm is much better at that.
People don't, obviously we can look at front end CTR, we can look at retention rates, but what a lot of people don't think about is the shares. So how much it resonated with somebody and they shared it to a friend. So we did our first pod, and obviously you probably know, getting somebody interested and on a podcast for an hour or an hour and a half is difficult and it's hard to, but we're still figuring out thumbnails because it's just two people sitting on a podcast. So our vid completely flopped. Our first podcast was a 10 out of 10 on YouTube. It was the worst views we'd had in ages. But because it resonated with the few people in our audience that watched the whole thing, it just rebounded over time through hundreds and hundreds of shares. And then it's up to like a 5 out of 10 now. And it's still growing over time. Just because it was good content, people enjoyed it.
You'll also notice from your long form podcast, you'll get better clients, better closing rates on the phone for your actual products than you will at your short form, your 15, 20 minute hits videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though the views are different, you'll see it over time, of course.
So they're building a relationship.
Yeah, because they're actually listening to you talk long form. It's not cut, it's not jump cuts, all the crap, you know what I mean? Just straight.
Yeah, love it.
You guys want to keep going?
Sorry.
No. This is good.
Hijack things for a second.
I learned a lot from that. That was gold.
That's good.
Thank you.
I learned a lot from you as well. And you're
100%.
an incredible speaker, by the way.
Yes, isn't it?
Thank you.
Absolutely incredible. Not a single or I've been watching you very closely thinking, wow, this guy's a fucking professional.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Now, we've gone through offers, creatives. Any questions on that before we go to the actual tactical stuff? This is where I'm going to actually show you what to do step by step. You can literally listen to me for the next 30 minutes, and you can have your ad account up and running and some ads as soon as tonight. So the first thing you want to do is create a Google Ads Manager account. Okay, Google Ads Manager accounts, Google Ads MCC. The reason why this is like Facebook Business Manager, right? Facebook Business Manager, you can have multiple Facebook accounts underneath your Business Manager. Same with Google Ads. Google Ads Manager account, you can have multiple ads accounts underneath the manager account. That way, in case one of those, for whatever reason, which it shouldn't ever, but gets banned, then you have your manager account. You can create multiple ones underneath that. Make sense? Then you link your Google Ads account to your manager account. Okay? Then honestly, Google Analytics really isn't that necessary anymore. You can do it. If you have someone on your team that is obsessed with that kind of stuff, they can be in charge of it, but you don't really need analytics. You just need to link Google Tag Manager to your ads account. Google Tag Manager is where you create your conversion actions, how to get the opt-ins, the calls, the purchases, especially if you're doing low ticket, right? Like you can have Google Tag Manager where you host all your actual pixels. Because the worst thing that you can do is you have Facebook pixel, YouTube ads pixel, Hyros tracking code, you know, whatever else you have, like active campaign tracking code, and it just slows down your web speed, right? Google Tag Manager allows you to host all of them in one. And so then you link your YouTube channel to your actual ads account. Now, there's been a big myth that YouTube ads hurts your organic growth. Who believes that? I know I said myth, so probably you're not going to raise your hand now.
Say that again, right?
YouTube ads kills your YouTube channel organic growth.
I've heard that.
You've heard it, right?
Yeah.
Who else has heard that?
I have heard that.
I've heard that, okay.
So you can create a different channel just for the ads, right?
Yes. And
Is it true?
no. I used to say
Yeah,
I used to say to create a second channel specifically to overcome that objection, transparently. Because people would get on the phone with me and they would say, oh, I heard YouTube ads kills my organic growth. And I would say, yeah, easy. All we do is create a second channel. You can link both of them to your ads channel, create remarketing lists from both, and you just run ads from your second channel. You have both accounts linked to your ads account. And they'd say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And what we found is that is just hurting you more than it's helping you. Because I knew from the beginning that wasn't true. But again, everyone believes it because they talk to these organic growth experts on YouTube and they say, oh, it's messing up your analytics, it's killing your reach. But what they're really saying is I can't read the data properly because you're spending too much money on ads, so I don't know what videos are working now the best. It just skews your analytics a little bit. Does that make sense? Yeah. There's no way YouTube ads is going to hurt your organic channel. I've confirmed this, not only running ads for people that have millions of subscribers and watching their channel grow, but also from Google agency reps that work at google.com headquarters and have been on calls with me for how much we spend, and have literally told me there's no way that that'd be possible. It would only help your channel grow.
Yeah, if you think about it, why would they set it up so that it hurts your channel because you're spending loads of money with them? That just doesn't make logical sense.
And here's a case study of why. Okay, so person who's going to be speaking after this, Charlie Morgan, got the same advice told to him about 6 months into our working relationship. And they, one day in Slack said to us, guys, we need to create a second channel for YouTube ads. It's killing our organic growth. We talked to a YouTube organic growth expert. They're saying that we need to run ads from a second channel. Knowing what I know, I said, we're not going to do that. Okay? It's not hurting your organic channel. There's no way that's true. And we don't want to risk your reputation or my reputation and our working relationship by getting you cheaper results that are not as profitable if we do a second account. Because I knew that just wasn't true. But they fought us on it, and they said, no, we decided we're going to do it. I said, okay, so we're not going to, but they wanted to do it immediately, that next day. Switch, everything. New channel, new ads from the new channel. And I knew that was going to kill our results. And they're going to obviously kill us if we killed their results. We're the agency, right? They're going to blame human nature, right? So I said, okay, we're going to do it over 30 days. 30 days. The first 14 days, we're going to spend half the budget to the second channel and only half the budget to the main channel. So we don't just completely switch. Make sense? Or sorry, 1/3. 1/3 to the new channel, 2/3 to the main channel. Okay? Hedge the risk. Then 2/3 to the second channel, 1/3 to the main channel, the second 14 days of that 30-day. Make sense? Now, what do you guys think happened after 30 days? What did the data see? What do you guys think you saw in the data?
New channel bombed.
New channel flopped. 0.6 return on ad spend. Main channel consistently producing a 3x return on ad spend. But we kept it running for another month or two, month and a half to just try to see, and they were really bullish on it. Didn't work. And then they finally said, okay, experiment, tested, failed, main channel. And when we first started working with Charlie Morgan, 22,000 subscribers of March 3rd last year when we signed him as a client. 22,000 subscribers. Since then, as of when I made this slide a couple days ago on the plane, 109,000 subscribers as of a couple days ago. His channel has grown in the last year. And not only has his channel grown, his bank account's grown too. Total spend, $597,000 on YouTube ads. Total revenue, $1.5 million. Total profit, about $900,000 in profit in about a year. Okay, a year. So YouTube ads does not harm your YouTube organic growth.
So you're saying that running ads on the main channel because of the accumulated analytics that will help the algorithm pushing? Is that what you're saying?
YouTube ads gets people to click on your ads or click on your channel. Therefore, they watch your videos or they watch your ads. And if they don't click on your ads, they watch your videos, they can subscribe, they can see everything that you're doing. It's only going to help your organic channel. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the myth of it kills your organic growth is just a myth. And I've literally just debunked it. Now with Charlie specifically, sorry to cut you off, with Charlie specifically, the reason why most people say it kills your organic growth is because when they start spending money on YouTube ads, guess what they take focus off of? The fucking videos on their channel. They don't be as consistent as they once were growing their channel. They don't have the same consistency, the same work ethic. They only spend money on ads because it's easy than creating videos. They're so tired of creating content, they want to just press a button and they want to make money. And of course, that's how ads works. But if you don't keep up with the content, your channel's definitely not going to grow, no matter how much we spend on ads. I mean, it'll grow, but not at the level you want. So you want to keep consistently posting content, just like Charlie has, which is why he's exponentially grown along with the ads.
And you were saying that the return when he was doing on the new channel was
Like a 0.6.
0.6?
Yeah, less than break even.
On revenue or cash?
Cash.
On a brand new channel.
Brand new channel. And we uploaded testimonials, we uploaded videos for social proof. And that's, you know, what I was telling people to do. But I can't say that anymore because it's just not true.
I remember like on YouTube, you were saying this like on the first initial videos, and then there was an update on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then you.
I switched it.
You switched it.
I immediately switched it because I'm not going to tell you guys something that's it's not true. When YouTube came out, because again, it wasn't I was lying at the time. I truly did think, okay, well, you know, maybe a second channel could help, but I've proven it with the main channel. But you know, and in some cases, a second channel does work, right? Some cases. But then YouTube ads updated their platform, and now they allow you to actually get more subscribers with ads. There's an optimization. You can optimize for more subscribers with ads. So when that came out, I realized there's no reason to run a second channel anymore at all, even if people believe that, even if they're only concerned about it. I'm going to be so bullish on the main channel because you can now run ads to get more subscribers, and obviously you want to do that to your main channel. So it just makes sense.
Ryan, right? My main channel is obviously called Frank Lee, right? And I have the podcast on the channel.
Yep.
I was speaking to Chris Williams about this because I asked him, because obviously there's some other top podcasters out there that have got a clips channel, this channel, behind the whatever channel, yeah. And they're having great success. So I thought I needed multiple channels. And he told me to put it all on one. So could I do my videos without thumbnails on the same channel as well and just run it?
From an advertising perspective, one channel is, again, like one channel, right? As far as your personal preference, I mean, Mike shared a good point about it. I'm sure Jack could talk about it as well. Like, I think from a complexity standpoint, multiple channels is a lot to manage.
Yeah.
That's why I keep everything on my main channel. I mean, there's better, I mean, Will can talk about it as well, but if Chris Williamson, I mean, he's huge. And if he's telling you to do that, then I would just listen to him.
Yeah, I mean, well, he was saying from a point of view of like podcast clips and podcasts, he keeps them on the same channel.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I was just wondering, like, I want to do some face to camera stuff, like what
I personally would do what Mike suggested because I know I have a friend named Clark Kegley. He has 1.7 million subscribers, and you know he's pivoted his niche and offer over the years, at least 3 times, right? What he did, and again, this might be good advice. You can do with that, or you can listen to Jack, because Jack's doing the podcast on his channel too, and it's going to work because it's his personal brand, right? With Clark, he changed his business a little bit. That's why it didn't really make sense. So he unlisted all of his previous videos, so that way he didn't get traffic for those videos anymore. That we're talking about something totally different than what he's talking about now. You're going to talk about the same stuff, though, right?
Yeah, so it's a personal development, business, and mindset kind of podcast, and I'm going to be talking about that type of content as well. In what I'm talking about, but I just want to shoot it raw, no edits, straight on there.
I don't see a problem with it from an advertising perspective at all. But from an organic growth perspective, I'm sure you guys could speak more on it.
Is it the same stuff you would do in a podcast, but just say yourself, like same topics?
Yeah. So the only difference would be like obviously this is going to be shot raw, like in terms of like what you're talking about, but not with the mics and this and the other. So like I was just going to categorize it on the channel. So there's like the full length podcasts, clips, and then like, you know, talking stuff. There's like 3 sections on the page. That's what I was going to say. It just kind of, I just didn't want to add too much complexity to it. I can understand both realms of thought. I'm just now in analysis paralysis on which way to go.
I think you got to experiment. Just try it out.
Well, the way you should just think of with the algo, it will send your video, you'll upload it, and it'll put it in front of the people's pages who watch your content the most, the first 100.
Yeah.
And then it'll make a decision and it's going to send it to the next 1,000. Right? And you'll see this as your click-through rate comes through, you'll see that thing slowly drip, because it's people who are less interested in your content. Now what happens most of the time, because really views are a vanity metric, right? It's what we use to determine if the video did well or not. So this is why I've created a second channel, is that I don't want to have the stalk process of like, damn, I'm killing my views. So let's say you start creating this let's say you made fitness content on this channel, you'll see each video get less and less views because the audience isn't responding to it well, right? But after like 5 months, eventually it will start sharing it with the audience that is interested with that. So it can take longer. But if it's on the same topic, roughly, you shouldn't you can keep it on the same channel and just not care about the views in the beginning. But eventually the algorithm will understand which content to share with that particular audience on your channel, and then which content to share the podcast stuff on that channel. So you can do that. But if you want to just start and do it and not have to worry about it, then I think a second channel is easier. Because what happens with, I don't know about you guys, but you'll get discouraged. You see the video bomb, you put in effort, second video bomb, and it'll just kill your confidence. And that's usually what hurts people, is that they stop. Because they've killed their confidence in terms of like, oh, this new format I tried didn't work.
Yeah.
Because you didn't get that dopamine hit that you usually get from like your long podcast content.
That's why when I always start something, I always commit myself to like 100 days or 100 videos or 100 reps or whatever it is before I go and start it, because there's no point starting unless you're going to do 100 reps.
Right, so that's my logic of why I've created a second channel, because I feel like it'll be the fastest way for me to not care about my ego, or now more so the business, right? Because my business was directly tied to my fitness channel. The second one is for fun, and I'm just gonna post whatever I want and not share. And what you can do, there's a community tab, right, on your main channel that you can share.
Yeah, that's a good idea, yeah.
Right, so the audience that does want to watch that and who are your super fans will eventually jump over, which is what I'm doing. I'll share it like on my community tab. I won't even say anything. I just specifically want that audience, even if it's 1,000 people on that channel, to watch my stuff, because it'll teach the algorithm, oh, this guy who's 40 years old watched it, he watched the whole video, and he's from the United States. And 3 months will pass, one video will go viral, and then everything else will fall in. And that's why you guys think like guys like Sam Sulek are like overnight hits. It's not that, it's he was putting in the reps, he found his audience eventually, and then
No, I think that's good advice.
It indicates that you didn't create the second channel, but your messaging changed and your style changed. Would you think it's best to create the second channel eventually and re-upload that new content to the new channel, or just do like things from scratch?
So the only time I would suggest to do a second channel like that is if you have a massive channel already, right, that has a big following that's on one niche, right? Like say for mine, I will be the king of fat loss for the next 10 years on this main channel, because it has 1 million people there, like businesses attached to it. I cannot talk about how to make $10,000 a month on that channel, right?
You did one video, right?
I did one video, right, and it flopped. And I recorded with Will, and this is not to say Will, the video was amazing, but in there people were like, who's this scammer?
Oh, wow.
Who's this person? It's just like their mindset.
They're not subscribed to you for that.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't do it, can you? It's just one thing for one channel, for one purpose, for one audience.
And there's 1 million people on there, right? So I have this stock, it's a massive stock, and I'm trying to serve people who come to a coffee shop Coca-Cola. They don't want Coca-Cola, right?
But the same thing happened with Mike Verster when Mike launched his course.
They hated him, didn't they?
It was like 700 scam comments.
Wow.
Yeah.
One after the other. He said to me, he's never had so much hate in his life, ever.
How did that perform for Mike, that course launch?
I actually don't know the numbers.
I'm in his course.
Yeah.
I bought his stuff.
Yeah, I don't know the numbers yet, so I actually don't have a clue.
And I was just wondering, because I didn't see big numbers in his attached community.
You bought that off?
Yeah.
What was the deliverables like?
It was a video course on how to become a creator, so what camera to shoot on, how to shoot videos, that sort of stuff, the setup, and then there was a Discord community attached to it as well.
Well, it was $4.95, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, $495.
How many people were in there?
There was only, I'll check right now.
Because you
When
can
I
kind of
checked,
do the maths.
there was only 50 people in the community.
So 497.
But I don't know if everyone joined the Discord. That was what I was wondering if you had the inside info, because I went in and I was like, shit, I thought there was going to be thousands of people in here. And in Digital Playbook right now, there's, how do we check how many members? 65.
Because Sneeko launched one as well recently, and that tanked too. Active income.
Where did he launch it? Twitter.
But to all his audience. Yeah.
Low ticket is so stupid, man. It really fucking is. Like Mike, when we did his mastermind, when he worked with me, I'm really bragging about myself here, but when he worked with me, man, you know, we sold 12 tickets at £8,000 each in like 14 hours. Sick money, simple.
Yeah.
Just a few people.
Simple.
Good. Just
So
yeah.
the guy behind Mike Thurston's course and James Smith doing a course now, and now Chris Williamson's going to be doing a course too. Is called Shan Hanif, and he owns Genflow. And I just think that for these specific creators we're talking about, it's the wrong way. Because like James Smith, I know how much money James Smith made from selling his business mastermind, same as I know how much Mike made from his mastermind, and it's easier way to make money, and it's better, and you give a better service too.
Yeah.
You're just opening yourself up to loads of fucking complaints launching these kind of courses, because they're shit courses.
When I'm that famous, I'm not going to be doing fucking courses.
Yeah.
I'm going to have sponsorships and share it. Like, I don't know why they become so. I think they see the money in info, and
because they don't make
they
very
get
much
greedy
money.
for it.
They don't make anywhere near what people fucking think.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Obviously, I'll never share this number.
Yeah.
But when I first met Mike and we had a coffee together, and he told me what he was making a month, I almost fell off the fucking chair.
Yeah.
How are these guys not picking up huge sponsors?
Because when I was in Quantum with Sam Ovens, right, there was a lot of YouTubers in there that were making only money from AdSense, and they would hear how much money we're making in marketing with no organic, and it was funny because the YouTubers wanted the money from the marketers wanted the organic following from the YouTubers, and it was just this complete polar opposite of like yin and yang. It's so interesting, but yeah.
Very interesting stuff.
But for Mike, it's interesting though. I feel like on the outside, I don't know Mike personally. I've only known him from YouTube. Launching a how to be an online creator offer just seems like the wrong offer for him anyways, and for his audience. You look at him and he's jacked. You'd kind of want to do like a...
He should have done Brandon Carter's
Exactly.
He would have murdered.
Exactly. That's the first offer I thought he was doing. Yeah.
The thing that drew me to Mike's offer was the fact that I know Mike went through a period of time where he wasn't as serious about his content. I remember hearing about it in a video where Mike was like, he had a period where he kind of fell off content in his early days, and he had this strategy for coming basically back on board and taking it seriously, taking content seriously, and that's how he blew up his brand. That's why I was interested in the offer.
Mm.
Yeah. And I buy courses and send it to my team.
Yeah.
I don't watch.
Yeah. Cool. Targeting. 2 bases of targeting, interest-based targeting and intent-based targeting. I'm just going to show you exactly what targeting to use. Okay. So this is the targeting timeline we use at adspin.com. So when you first start launching your campaigns, the first thing you want to do is go after your lowest hanging fruit, as opposed to the big broad audiences out there, right? So on this side, you have the size of the market and how niche and how small that market might be and how big it might be too. On the right, you have the timeline of when you should start the audience and when you should use the audience at scale, right? If you truly want to scale. So when you start, oh shit. When you start, what we use is remarketing lists, okay? So like most of the time, if you're already running paid ads or you're running some sort of traffic to a funnel, you have a bunch of people on a list already that you can remarket to. People that have landed on your web page, your sales funnel, your webinar, whatever it is. Add those lists to a campaign, and that's one campaign. That's one audience you target in one campaign, okay? The next one is YouTube audiences. Obviously, if you have a YouTube channel, you want to put all your YouTube audiences together, depending on how big your channel is. Like if I was Mike, I would not put YouTube video viewers in the same campaign as YouTube subscribers. He has way more video viewers than he has subscribers, right? And they're a different type of person. Someone who just might view your video once or twice isn't going to be as loyal as a subscriber. Someone who's pressed subscribe and watches your content. Does that make sense? But if you're smaller on the scale, like 30,000 subscribers, even like me, I just put all my audiences in one campaign because I have only 12,000 subscribers. So, that makes sense. Does that make sense? And then custom segment is basically the new way to use AI-based audiences to find people who are already typing in keywords into Google and YouTube that you can place your ads right in front of. So if you did try YouTube ads, right, how I would do it is how to make more money as a visual effects professional. Right? If anyone's searching that, then you would actually show up your ad in front of the next video they watch on YouTube because they're actually searching that into YouTube and Google. So that's the next audience we would use. These are usually the typical first three we start with every single time for every single client. And then as we start wanting to increase the ad spend and reach more people, we start broadening out the audiences. We start going more scale. Custom segment interest-based audiences, people who might be interested in these specific topics or keywords, right? Visual effects, how to make money as a visual effects professional, etc. And then you can actually do websites as well. And I'll show you the difference between those in a second. Then you can go up the stream, optimize targeting, in-market affinity, life events, demographics. So when you start custom segment searches, right? So these are intent-based audiences. People are searching for these terms on Google and YouTube. So we always create, with every client we work with, a how-to segment of people who search for related keywords. So Google recommends at least 10 to 15 keywords. So this one, for example, is what we used for a client of ours. I'm sure you could guess who. How to start an online fitness business, how to get more online personal training clients, how to start your online fitness business, how to start an online personal training business, how to get more personal training clients. You can see it's around the same topic, obviously, but we're just putting them into one audience. So that way we're targeting people who have searched for any of these terms on Google, right? That's one audience that we're targeting. Those are custom intent audiences.
Right, just one question around this. So when you're in the testing phase of what works, what doesn't work for multiple campaigns,
yeah,
would you rather or would you recommend to have like all of those keywords in just one campaign, or have each one of them or a couple of them in individual campaigns to test what works, what doesn't work? Because there might be some of those keywords that are basically not working, right?
Yeah.
And they're basically part of the same campaign that
Yeah.
might be hurting, maybe. Or
You do that after you found that this audience actually works.
So
Then you can start breaking it out, making it more segmented, right? Because Google recommends 10 to 15 to start, right? And that's why we just use Google's best practices, because they're telling you how to make more money.
Yeah.
They want you to be successful. They want you to spend money. You're not going to spend money if it doesn't work.
That it's different from meta ads, for example? Because I remember Sam saying exactly the opposite, maybe because the algorithm works differently or whatever. So that's why I'm asking what I'm asking.
Well, Facebook and YouTube are completely two totally different platforms, right? So with Facebook, the strategy is you have one campaign, you have like 3 to 5 ad groups. And you can actually, you can spend evenly between those ad groups. With YouTube ads, you have one campaign and you have 3 to 5 ad groups. But if you do that, one ad group's going to spend the most of the money anyways. So you want to have one campaign, one ad group, one audience, 3 to 5 ads. That's the structure. That's how YouTube is optimized better from what we found. So what applied on Facebook back then doesn't really apply anymore to YouTube ads specifically. Next is custom segment interests. Again, this is literally just checking the second box here. People with any of these interests or purchase intentions. So you use the same keywords, you can target a bigger audience of people who might be interested in how to start an online personal training business. So it's just another click, right? This is another audience you can test. Then websites. So if you have competitors, which we all do, who have similar offers, similar funnels, similar websites to you, you can easily take their websites, their sales funnels, and put them into this specific audience, which is going to allow you to reach people who are visiting websites similar to theirs. People who are also interested in that type of content based on that website's metadata, okay, the topics and what they're talking about on there. So for example, one thing you can do is you can take their opt-in page, their VSL page, their thank you page, their book a call page, and put them all as one audience in one custom website that you can target to show people, you know, who might be interested in that type of content too.
Could you put a YouTube channel
No.
URL?
You could, but it's just going to go to youtube.com.
Okay.
So anyone who watches YouTube.
So, could I put Charlie Morgan's landing page?
Yep.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get him.
Let's fucking get it, man.
One of the best targeting options we did was for a dating coach for men, and we took all of his biggest dating coach competitors' funnels, put them into different campaigns and audiences, and these were easily his best campaigns.
If someone was doing an offer, this is not me, by the way.
Yeah.
But if someone was doing an offer which was like to stop porn addiction, could they put like Pornhub in there?
What's Pornhub?
Sometimes it might not get approved by Google based off policy. It'll literally say sexual content, like as the flag. So they actually do monitor what keywords you're putting in there and seeing if they're compliant or not.
So could someone then put, again, let's go with...
You could put a website that's like how to stop porn addiction.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
Yeah, that would be more in alignment with Google's policy than just Pornhub, because they're gonna go to porn. I mean, you know, they're gonna scrape Pornhub.com.
So you could be like incredibly niche with this. Like you could be doing like a gardening offer and then just gardening.com or like
Home Depot.
World. Yeah.
Lowe's, right? Like even bigger audiences like that.
Yeah.
Because you know, there's a segment of the people that are just interested in gardening at the Home Depot. So yeah, one example for us is
this how like all the SaaS companies are growing then? So they like the Salesforce are just targeting other CRM companies?
I'm targeting Hyros, I'm targeting ClickFunnels, I'm targeting Closers.io, I'm targeting Close.io, I'm targeting HubSpot, I'm targeting every software.
You could end up doing, I guess, is like go on things like, oh, that's so interesting. So what you could end up doing is go on things like SimilarWeb and just find all like 100 different pages that are similar, and then just chuck it in here.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
And would you suggest, sorry, you did mention this earlier, but would this be a go-to audience that you target from day one with a new client, or would you start with the search and the interest first, or would you go straight there as well?
Search and interest first, but depending on the budget, we would add this one too.
Right.
And depending on the options, they might not have a YouTube audience. They might not have any remarketing lists. If that's the case, then we'll obviously go more, you know, what we have to do, like a few more intent-based as the majority, but then a couple broad audiences like this, custom websites.
What sort of budget would you say is required for you to say, yeah, websites is the right place to start, or no, it's not?
I'll get into budget in a second. Good question, yeah. Any other questions on websites? No? Okay, so that's intent-based validation. Simple, cheesy graphic here. You're going after your low-hanging fruit, right? They're easier to pick. Now, here's a case study of why this works so well. So who knows who Rudy Maurer is? Yeah?
The guy always went red.
Yeah, so he's a good friend of mine, and he was running Facebook ads to a low-ticket offer, actually. And he's really good at Facebook ads. You know, he's partnered with like Ty Lopez, spends millions of dollars on Facebook ads every single month. When he tried running YouTube ads, they flopped. And so he reached out to me and said, bro, I don't know what I'm doing here. How can you help me, right? And so when I looked at his ad account, he spent about 20 grand, as you can see on the left, got about 52 purchases, and keep in mind his offer was a $67 offer, right? And so the purchase CPA was $373. That's not great. His click-through rate was a 1% though, so his ads were okay, and his cost per acquisition was just through the roof. But he was using this sort of interest-based targeting, and I'm talking about like actual in-market audiences of like in-market audience is basically people who are in the market for maybe a product or a service. Maybe they're in the market for fat loss. Maybe they're in the market for workout equipment, right? They might be based off their search history, but they're not like so interested that they've actually searched for that. Does that make sense? So with him, he was targeting a bunch of broad audiences, interest-based targeting. After 1 month, he spent 20 grand, and that was a CPA. After we came in and literally implemented exactly what I've just taught you up until this point, new ads with the creative style we've ran through, the hook, story, close method, plus, right, targeting options, intent-based, it dropped down to $93, and his click-through rate went up. So I'm only sharing this with you, again, to further prove that this strategy works, and this is how you would do it, especially if you're starting from scratch. And so here's how you create your campaigns. Okay, so budget, this is the perfect slide for you. So you want to start with a daily budget of at least 10x your target cost per lead. So for example, if you're selling a high-ticket offer, right, 5 to 10K plus, we recommend starting with a daily budget of at least $200 to $500 a day, $250 to $500 a day. And your starting budget depends on your business goals, calendar availability, risk tolerance, etc. Like this, one of the questions that is always tricky because I recommend the budget based off of those things, right? What's your risk tolerance? What budget do you have allocated to ads based off your P&L? What's your calendar availability like? But to optimize for the best profits initially, you want to spend at least $250 to $500 a day. And
across all campaigns, right?
yes. And so the less budget, obviously, the more time it takes to optimize your campaigns and scale. And I'm going to show you why you actually have to have a specific set of budget per campaign. So with bidding, you're starting with maximizing conversions first. So there's 3 bidding options that we really use: maximize conversions, target CPA, and then max ROAS once you're like really scaling. But you want to start with max conversions first. This gets you as many conversions as possible, especially when you're starting, right? Because it's going to spend. So you can ramp up your campaigns faster. And Google actually recommends max conversions as well. And you want to set a daily budget of 10x your target cost per lead, right? So if your target cost per lead is $10, your budget then needs to be for your campaign $100. That follows best practices. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This means you'll have at least 2 to 3 campaigns to start at the very beginning, at least, okay, with this budget recommendation. Now here's your example campaign structure, right? If you're going to start with 3 campaigns, for example, campaign number 1, custom segments, 10 to 15 how-to keywords, how-to X, how-to Y, how-to Z, just like I showed you earlier. Campaign number 2, YouTube audiences, subscribers, video viewers, liked any video of yours, shared any video of yours, added any video of yours to a playlist of theirs. These are all options you can use for your YouTube channel to run ads to. Anybody who's done any of those things from your YouTube channel, you can put them on an audience just like this. And then lastly, remarketing lists, people who have visited your website, your sales funnel, your opt-in page, your VSL page, etc. Those are the first 3 campaigns I would personally start with if I was starting from scratch, and if those audiences are available to me based on my situation. Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. And those would each be $100 a day. KPIs and benchmarks. So now you have everything set up. You have the creative, you got your ads, you got your targeting, you got your campaign set up, your tracking's good to go. Here's what you're looking for. You want to have a click-through rate of at least 1 to 2% or higher. If you have higher than 2%, like the Tap Brothers, that ad's going to last a very long time. View rate 20% or higher, typically. Cost per click, at least $3 to $5 in the US market, $1 to $2 outside the US market. That's front-end ad metrics. Now, funnel KPIs and benchmarks, again, your funnel might look different, your funnel might not. Will would teach you this better because obviously he's done it, and we do it too, but basically landing page, VSL page, booking page with some sort of application, or an application page specifically, thank you page, you have the sales call, they become a client. Your landing page, you want to be at least 15%. Again, this depends. By the way, before I keep going through these metrics, this can all go throughout the window if you're getting a 5x on cash and you're below any of these metrics, truthfully. So these are what to look for to diagnose things, obviously, and constraints like Will's always talking about. This is just a guide map, a roadmap for you. Video conversion rate, 5 to 15% on your VSL specifically. That's what you want to be getting in terms of booked calls. Show up rate of at least 60%, and then a call conversion rate of 20%. Those are the unit economics that Will's always talking about that align with what we're talking about here at AdSpend. Does that make sense? Now, you have everything, you got leads, you got calls, now how do you optimize, right? So again, this is a screenshot taken directly from YouTube ads, okay, from Google, talking about how to optimize YouTube ads. Now I wanna show this because I want you guys to realize how they're recommending for you to make more money with their platform. Remember to wait 1 week, 3 to 7 days before optimizing campaigns. There's a period when we work with clients where we literally tell them, no touchy. Don't touch your ads for at least 7 days. You can't touch anything. And it's in our
If you
agreement.
made a mistake or whatever.
Well, if you obviously work with us, there's typically no mistakes in the setup process, because that's obviously what we do from the hybrid offer. But if you did it on your own, then yeah, you obviously, like if your tracking's, messed up or whatever, if you made a mistake, then yeah, you have to fix that. Like if you're not tracking leads, then you can't optimize anyways. But I'm saying if everything's set up properly, you have everything that we just went through, it's good to go, don't touch anything for 7 days. Especially in the high ticket business model. Why? Does anyone know?
Because your ticket price is so high.
Yes.
You need time to optimize, right? To find the right
Yes.
people.
And by right people, how long does it take to close someone in the high ticket industry typically?
14 days, maybe.
At least 14 days, right? We've done a data study on all of our clients. 50% of sales in the high ticket space come within the first 14 days. Okay? The other 50% come between day 14 and day 60. So what I'm saying here is that's even more reason why in the first 14 days you don't want to touch much. Because if you touch anything, you might send something back into the learning mode and you might mess up everything that you were building momentum-wise to close somebody on the phone that became a lead day 1 but didn't close until day 14, right? So that's why, including because you're going to mess up your campaign's momentum. Now, if you have no conversions, what you want to do is obviously look at extending this. So we always optimize for leads and for calls. This allows you to get more conversions faster. If your campaigns are not spending budget, maybe your audience is too niche. Maybe you have the wrong setting, like you're doing target CPA when you should be doing max conversions. Maybe it's a glitch, you just got to talk to Google support. If your CPAs are too high, remember, again, straight from Google's mouth, that it can take 7 to 14 days for auto bidding to reach efficiency. If CPAs are still too high after 7 to 14 days, then you can maybe try to add some other things like creating different ad groups or audiences for different users. Consider adding a lighter conversion event. Again, maybe optimizing for leads. We always start with leads first, just because you have to. Make sense? Any questions on optimizing? Good? You guys still with me?
Yep.
Okay, I'm almost done. It's like the last thing. TCPA campaigns. So now, once you have at least 5 conversions per day for those 3 campaigns I gave you to start, right? 5 conversions per day. Remember, your budget's $100. You want to optimize for $10 cost per leads. You should be getting at least 10 conversions per day. Once you're getting those metrics consistently after 7 to 14 days, then you want to switch to target CPA. Target cost per acquisition is what it's called, and that allows you to bid a certain amount for what you want. If you want $15 leads, $10, what's up, Charlie? $10 leads, then you obviously bid that amount. Okay?
Charlie.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just tell Google what you want to spend. That's how you obviously optimize for better conversions. And yeah, if your campaign is underspending, this is all technical stuff. Again, I'm going to give you guys the slides, so I don't want to bore you with that right now. And then how to beat your control and scale. Okay, so now you have a winning ad, you have a campaign that's working. I'm going to show you an example of how to iterate on that, right? And you're going to see how easy it is to actually make another winner. So I'm just going to play the first 10 seconds of this ad, okay? This is one of our clients, Sarah Turner.
Can you speak or write at least like a 6th grader? If you said yes, then you have the potential to earn over 6 figures a year. Here's how.
Okay?
Hey, can you speak or...
Now, watch this one. Look at the difference. Different thumbnail. Look at the hook.
Can you speak or write at least like a 6th grader? If you said yes, then you have the potential to earn over 6 figures a year. Here's how. Hey.
What was different?
Editing, animations, catchier.
Editing. Go ahead.
Background music.
Background music, editing, captions. Yeah.
The experience, isn't it?
Say it again?
The experience of looking at the video. That's different.
Just the first 10 seconds. We didn't change anything else. Body's the same. Just the hook. Look at the difference. Total views for the...
different in terms of text?
Yeah, everything's different in the hook. Yeah, I'll play it again.
Can you speak or write at least like a 6th grader? If you said yes, then you have the potential to earn over 6 figures a year. Here's how. Hey, you.
Okay, now watch this one.
Can you speak or write at least like a 6th grader? If you said yes, then you have the potential to earn over 6 figures a year. Here's how. Hey, you.
B-roll was different.
Yeah, sorry, the script, sorry, it's pretty much exactly the same.
Seems the money sound.
Yeah, the ad's the exact same. All that's different is the editing and the thumbnail. That's it. Just change the hook.
On ads,
Difference in terms of performance, total views, about 1 million, running for about 12 months. Average CPL, $10. New one, about 300,000 views, running for 1 month. It's almost got 1/3 the amount of views in 1 month. And it dropped the cost per lead in half. Same ad.
How did you know to change it to that? How did you know that?
Just experience. And knowing it's a good hook, and knowing that if we edit it a different way, it'll appeal to a different type of audience. It'll make it a different ad.
Did you just run one test on one version of that, or was there other versions as well?
You got to test multiple, yeah.
Yeah. How many versions were tested to get to that?
At least 3.
Right.
Can you speak
Oh, shit.
at least?
And so how to implement this yourself, here's what you want to set up internally, right? You want to have we use ClickUp, you can use whatever you use, Asana, Monday.com. So to get to a level to where you can test those consistently, you want to have an ideas column, right? Where you have multiple ideas for new ads you want to test. A to be tested column, meaning, okay, this idea is approved, we like that, let's put it in to be tested. All right, so you move it, and every single week you have a meeting with your content team or your marketing team, and obviously you can do that. Then you move the to be tested one to needs review, meaning that you've obviously filmed it, it's ready to go, you review it, and you approve it. Then you go to currently testing. Then if it's currently running, that means it's running, it's profitable, it's working. If it's a failed test, meaning it's not profitable, it's not working, you waited the 7 to 14 day window, right? And you obviously spent a lot of money on it to where you can significantly say it's just not going to beat your current control. You move it to failed tests. And then if it stopped working, meaning after 2 years, 6 months, and 27 days like the Tap Brothers ad, it just stops working, then you move it to stop working. And that's a very simple column flow for your guys' internal team to keep track of those. And then lastly, when you want to really become omnipresent, okay, you want to have other platforms in here. Like Google Ads is YouTube Ads. YouTube Ads is Google Ads. So you want to have Google Discovery, search ads, and maybe shopping if you do more e-commerce kind of stuff, like with brands that sell that kind of stuff, if you do that. And that's it.
Nice. Amazing.